Yeah.
Also, Umar, after he makes it to the top number one, inshallah, bantamweight, will he start fighting at lightweight division and defend?
Never. Too small.
Okay.
Too small. I mean, he's a 135er, a real strong 135er, but he's not a big 135er. So he'd have to go to featherweight, and that's going to be a stretch. And then he'd have to go to lightweight. No, that's too much of a jump for him. He won't be around that long.
Yeah. What are your plans for Umar in the future? It seems like he's in it's very difficult for him to find opponents.
Not so difficult to find opponents anymore. I think now because he's made a name for himself. So I think you'll be seeing a top 5 guy with him on his next show. And it could be, who knows? I know it's the top 5 guy. So anybody in the top 5, whoever they are, you'll see. And Umar can potentially be fighting them. And whoever he gets, he's going to beat. And then my to the gods, I'm saying, the fight gods, hey, we win this next one impressively. Give us a title shot in Abu Dhabi.
All right.
We'll see what happens. I'm just throwing it out there. I obviously I don't have no crystal ball, but I wish I did, that I can project it, and then we'll be able to fight in Abu Dhabi for the title here. That'd be exciting.
Let's see. What do you recommend for older guys who want to get into MMA just for fitness and self-defense? I'm laughing because I'm older, and I know I wouldn't do it.
If they want to get into MMA for fitness, just find a school that observe it first. See that they're not too rough on you, because when you are older, you don't want to go to a bunch of killers because their egos are too big, and if you can't handle it, you end up getting hurt. One of my best friends, Alex Kambabian, he used to own AKA Sunnyvale, and he's hopping around from gym to gym. And when he goes and he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu, and he's a world champion, ex-world champion kickboxer. So he says that he goes in the gym, these young guys are trying to tear his arms off. And it's really hard for him being older, because he's going in to relax, and these guys are trying to rip his head off, So, examine the gym, see what it's like. If it's too competitive, being an older person, I don't know if that's the best for you.
What would you say between the two, jiu-jitsu or like kickboxing?
If he's never done anything, jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, either one of them though. You can, if you're older, you got to watch your spine.
You can do whatever, but jiu-jitsu.
Your knees.
If you're older, jiu-jitsu, it's the most effective one out of everything. If you got to pick one art, only jiu-jitsu.
Okay, this was asked for us in Spanish. Javier, ¿te gustaría ver entrar a Ilia Tipuria en AK Gym algún vez? Saludos desde España.
Basically, he's asking if the fighter, whatever, if I'd like for him to come. And no, we're okay. We're okay. I mean, I like watching him, and that's it. I'll stay a fan, and we have a strong team, and not looking for other people to come on board to join the team. We're good with where we're at, and we root for other people too.
Yeah, that's a guy you like to watch, though.
Yeah, he's fun to watch.
But you have too many guys in his weight class too, possibly.
No, not really. No, not really.
Yeah. What were your thoughts when you trained Khabib for the first time?
I thought he was very green on the stand-up. His stand-up was really horrible. He really didn't know how to punch, didn't know how to kick. And it took me a while to get him to kick. So my impression of his stand-up was it was bad. It was bad. All you have to do is watch his entrance into the UFC, watch his first UFC fight, watch his fights before that, and then watch his fights as he escalates fight after fight after fight, how he keeps improving. He was amazing. The reason why his stand-up wasn't any good, because he never trained with nobody. He never did any stand-up with anybody. He just did what his father trained him. That was it. So his father was not a stand-up expert. He was a sambo expert. Their stand-up was not really known to be great, So Khabib just did sambo. So he threw stuff, but it was mostly, to get the guys on the ground, use his judo, use his wrestling,
That's a good one. So this is going to be part one. Now, you guys tune in, like, and subscribe to this, and we're going to do part two because we have so many questions. But Javier and I are going to continue on. You're just going to see this end. Okay. So here's the first question we got for our second part of questions for Javier. How is Mike Swick doing? I miss his podcast. Is his health okay?
Mike Swick is doing fantastic. He is, AKA Phuket, Thailand, is becoming the destination for the stars. A lot of celebrity type people are starting to, realize what a great workout Muay Thai is and what a great facility, AKA Thailand, is. So Mike Swick has created a great destination for people to come, for everyday normal individual to come and learn Muay Thai and MMA in a safe environment. So it's kind of people friendly. Fighter, not so much anymore. It's more designed for people like someone like me and you. If we want to go there, we don't want to get beat up or anything. We'll go to AK Thailand. We're going to have a great time, great workout, and we don't have to worry about the other guy looking to tear my head off. So that's the great thing about that. And Mike Swick's health, he beat cancer 2 times, and he's really healthy now from what he's telling me. But he's keeping on top of things, eating right, monitoring himself, because if he had it twice, you never know, it could come back again. And so far he's kept it clean.
Good for him, man. What would happen if you didn't meet Khabib and his teammates? My biggest dream is to meet him. Love you, Uncle Javier. So, what do you think?
I don't know. But if I didn't meet Khabib, I don't know where my destiny would be. I still be making champions because I have a gift for that, and so I'd find something else to focus on. Right now, my focus for the last actually for the last 3-4 years has been my Dagestanis. That's my focus been on them. I more or less kind of not abandoned my AKA guys, but I focus more on the Dagestani guys. Everybody knows that. That's what I've been doing. Still care for everybody, but there's only one me, and I chose my path, and my path is with Team Khabib and AKA for sure, but Team Khabib has got a lot of my time, and AKA is doing fantastic. Having Cain Velasquez there, Ron Kessler, and many other coaches that are incredible coaches. So AKA is still going strong.
This is Hi Coach Hav, one of the Dagestani. Which one of the Dagestani boys outside of Bellator and UFC are you most excited about? Sagid, Amaru, or Movlid, and why?
Movlid is retired. Amaru is the one that's the most exciting. Khabib and I feel he's the next big thing from Team Khabib Eagle. So he's very exciting. He's a good striker, good everywhere. Very difficult to deal with Amaru.
Yeah, I didn't know that that Movlid retired. This is just recently.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this year he retired. Just
kept having injuries. Yeah.
Yeah, eye problems.
Oh, poor guy. Let's see. Potato Mandy, do you think domination of Dagestani wrestlers will make everyone in MMA start taking on Dagestani wrestling? Has the MMA sport as a whole reached the pinnacle point where techniques for ring domination has no room left to explore? Interesting.
Well, I think that due to the fact that they're so adept at being able to deal with wrestlers, and that's what people don't get, and they should get, is when you go watch these guys train, they train with Olympic level wrestlers all the time, and these Olympic level wrestlers from Russia, they're out there doing MMA with Team Khabib. So, for instance, when I was there, training with Islam this last camp, there was a silver medalist from 2020 Olympics, and he beat USA's Kyle Dake 10-0. And Kyle Dake, if anybody knows anything about wrestling, he is the only collegiate wrestler in the history of US that's won a national title in each year in each different weight divisions. 4 weight divisions Kyle Dake won. So that's how good Kyle Dake is. But then that just shows you how, good Team Khabib is with wrestling. They have wrestlers there. And I watched this person go with all Team Khabib guys, and his wrestling didn't help him as much, as you would think, because those guys handle his wrestling no problem. And that's what people don't understand. Wrestlers, they're not an issue for Team Khabib. That's why, Kobe talking about, U.S. wrestling versus Dagestani wrestling. You're not even training with the level of people he's training with. And the guys he's training with actually know MMA. Whereas Kobe, you can go with Jordan Burroughs, but Jordan Burroughs doesn't do MMA. So you're just doing wrestling. It's not the same.
Yeah.
It's not the same. It's different.
It's almost like the difference between shooting pool and sniper shooting.
Yeah, not the same.
Oh, hey, Javier, congrats on the Islam win. Want to know what's your part in Dubai's gym and what's your part in Khabib's gym in Dubai, or are you there as a trainer? No, you're not doing any of that, are you?
No, zero. I have zero. Other than it's a beautiful gym, I have zero.
Visiting.
Just visiting.
Right. Um, what kind of strength training athletes in your what kind of strength training are the athletes in your gym doing?
Well, the smart ones do strength training, core training. Where they don't kill themselves, just core training. Like Theo Haig, he's one of my fighters from USA that does like more strength type training. He is on the rise. He's an unbelievable fighter, and you're going to see him real soon. Within a year or two in the big leagues. He's already signed by Bellator. As a prospect, prospect building. So, he's one of those guys that, you're going to see keep improving all the time. He's incredible, Theo Haig.
Let's see. There are a lot of videos about AKA and the coach. Can you please tell us some less interesting known facts? Okay, what are the interesting known facts behind AKA?
I'm the owner.
Me and Hav like to go eat at this diner that's really good around the corner.
Like Flames. We like to eat at Flames.
We like to eat at Flames. Yeah.
I've been every champion that's ever been there. There's been a champion has been more or less guided by me, except one person that did it without me, John Fitch. Yeah, I had very little training with John Fitch, and he became a world champion. With the little help he did get from me, he still became a champion. So it just goes to show you that anybody can make it. You just have to have iron where there's good iron. And John Fitch had the fortune of being super mentally strong and having great training partners. And John Fitch was the kind of guy you could never break. You can never break, no matter how many obstacles were in front of him. He was going to, meet and exceed expectations and tear the doors down. And that's what he did. And, he's a great accomplishment, a great joy for me because he did it without me. He didn't need me much at all.
Mind of Steel. Let's see. What's the future holds for AKA other than handling Dagestani champions? Like we had DC and Kane. Like, is there someone else, an American champion, a Spanish champion, somebody?
I don't know about American per se champion, but there's definitely champions coming. Cain Velasquez, my son, Ron Kessler are doing an incredible job, training the up and coming guys. Tomas Diagni, former Sancho world champion, also helps a lot. There's some great coaching there. So yeah, don't look at AKA going anywhere. It's, combine that with, Team Eagle and us. I would 100% say we're number one in the world. Just like when Greg Jackson, was doing with TriStar, they joined together with the GSP, so they were number one. Well, we're in the same boat. We have a great team, outright, but with Team Khabib, it just makes us double.
It certainly does. So this is I don't know if this is a tough or easy question. Who's the second best student that you've had? You can only name one. That's like a thing that I wouldn't think about. Like I wouldn't have categorized in my brain. What about you?
It's hard for me to best student. That's a tough one. I'd have to pass because I've had so many, and to say one is a discredit to the other great ones I've
had. We will see. Will we see Shower Bullet and AKA? You said no.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Says tell about Khabib. Khabib's training with his father. Well, what do you know about him training with his father? What was that like for him?
I don't know. I really don't know. I know his father, was very disciplined. Disciplinarian is number one with him. So these guys had to be on time. They had to be on bed on time. They had to do exactly what they were told to do. And his father, if you broke the rules, his father was on you. He was tearing your ear off. Just basically telling you what a professional is supposed to be, and you're not conducting yourself as a professional. I've seen him one time chew Tahir's ear out for like 15, 20 minutes nonstop. I felt bad for Tahir. I go, oh man, I'm glad it isn't me, because he was tearing into him. I've seen him do it to Umar a couple times.
The drill instructor.
He was a drill instructor. Great one at that, but that's his style, and that's kind of Khabib's style also.
Hardcore. No, nothing. There's no in between. No such
No.
thing as a good excuse with that guy.
No.
Right?
If you're not in training and you weren't sick and you weren't at the hospital, then there's no excuse for him.
Okay, Vincent Valentine. Fighters like Craig Jones have been talking about Islam's lack of submission threat. And we saw where that went. But do you guys plan on adding more submissions to his repertoire, maybe mixing Sambo with some high-level BJJ?
He's got high-level BJJ with people. It's like this Sambo, versus, that's something Khabib created, and go ride with it. But hey, this is the thing. Sambo is the style that Islam and Khabib have, done their thing with. But they add jiu-jitsu. They add technique to everything. So, Islam is not just a Sambo guy. He knows jiu-jitsu also, and he knows high-level wrestling. He knows a Thai boxer too. He's a boxer. I mean, this is MMA, guys. Everybody's picking up everything. So this Sambo versus jiu-jitsu thing, it's really everybody's training in everything. Like, you can't tell me jiu-jitsu guys are just strictly hardcore jiu-jitsu, because if that was the case, they wouldn't be winning in the UFC. They would be losing. Like you saw Rickson Gracie's son. He went in the last fight and he tried to stick it to straight jiu-jitsu. What did it get him? Didn't get him good, because the time limits are a constraint. It's 5 minutes. If you go strictly jiu-jitsu, old style, there's no time limit. And there's time limits here. So it won't work. It won't work. It won't work in MMA these days. It won't work because everybody knows jiu-jitsu. So you better know a little bit of everything, and you better be good at everything if you're going to be successful now these days. But if you had to go no time limits, then okay, then you bring jiu-jitsu back into the mold, because that's where they thrive on wearing you out, being in you're in their guard and you're pounding away at them, and they're just wearing you down. Eventually they get you, or you get them. But that's where jiu-jitsu would be much more effective if there was no time limits.
You change the game. You make basketball the length of a soccer field. Okay. The basketball players are done by by the first 10 minutes of the game. But that's just the same thing. It doesn't have any traction. I want to see Islam double champ. Oh yeah, what's going on with that? Is that still a goal for Islam?
Yeah, of course, it's definitely a goal. But Islam is not asking for anything. It's just like, hey, he's just waiting for the UFC that he's throwing it out there. He wants it. But, it's like if the UFC says, no, we're going to offer you this, he's going to take it. He's not going to say no. UFC is going to offer it. He's going to take it. That's why this thing about Charles, and potentially Islam matchup, it's fake news now, but the UFC may decide that's what they want to do. So if they
by the time this comes out, it could change.
Yeah, you never know. It might be something that does work out. So Islam will fight Charles if that's what they want. Doesn't matter. I don't think it's the fight to make, but hey, I'm not the matchmaker. I'm not the UFC.
Right. And more people asking about Usman going to the UFC. I can understand their excitement. I can understand them wanting him there.
He's so excited. He is, man. He's only 25.
Do you feel less nerves with him than some of the other fighters you had at that age, because he's so well rounded?
He is so well rounded. Khabib and I worked on him so well. He's mentally put together. He is a great champion. And I've said it before. I'll say it again. Super star. Super duper star.
That's true. This one's from Michelle. I mean, I think you had one of these. Any plans of opening AKA in India? Didn't you guys open up like a gym at least in India?
Oh, you froze.
Oh, am I frozen? Can you see me? Oh, you froze. I'm still here. Starting. Okay, yeah. So recording is resumed. Is there any chance that you're going to open an AKA in India? You guys kind of did something like that, didn't you?
I have a license deal already. AKA Goa, Mandram. Yeah, Goa, India. There's one there now.
Okay, so that's there. So who are the top champion prospects at the gym? What's next for Usman? What's next for Umar? Well, any new top prospects? I know we covered Usman and Umar in depth.
No, the biggest prospects, team Khabib is I think Amru. There's many more, but that's the hottest one I think right now. And then for AKA, the hottest one is Mohammed Alarak from Kuwaiti. You know, of course, Theo Haig is right there too, and then Mark Climaco, you know, had a little derailment, but he's still great. And then Daniel Allen, you know, Daniel Allen's still really good too. He's got some left in him to make a, you know, world chase for, you know, for greatness. You know, he's good.
What's the best food system to build a fighter body? And yeah, let's see, carbs. No, kidding.
salmon, carbs, vegetables, lift weights, you know, or not lift weights, but simple carbs, protein, simple carbs, protein, things that digest quick.
Yeah, less sugar, inflammation. You don't want inflammation.
Yeah.
What is the most important workouts that shouldn't be missed, that must do every day, for the whole body, whether at home or at the gym? Like, what's something that has to be done every day? 50 push-ups and run? I mean, what do you think for fighters?
It's kind of a hard question. There's so much. Yeah, it's not just one thing. You know, I guess if you're going to compete, yeah, it's too hard. Too many things you have to do. There's not one more important than another, but I guess cardio. You have to have the cardio to be able to do all these things. So probably cardio.
Mm-hmm.
Probably number one.
Coach Javier, when fighters are at the checkpoint having the Vaseline applied to their face, final safety check, I understand this can be very individual, but are the fighters, do they have an elevated heart rate at that moment, or do you think they're calm?
I don't know. Good question. I have no idea. Zero idea.
But you're in there. You're the whole time. Relax. So.
Yeah, I'm always telling them relax, but I don't know how they're feeling. You know, because they're getting ready to go battle. You know, so he's a good question, but it's not an answer that I have.
Well, here's an entertaining question. Usman defeated Brent Primus on points. Shabili destroyed him. Shabili also broke Tofik Mosev's ribs. How will Usman counter Shabili's fast and powerful attacks? Good question. We'll
see. I mean, he's good. He trained with us, so I know how good he is. You know, but I know how good Usman is. He's definitely our toughest competitor. Shall he get by this opponent coming up, which I'm thinking he is. But we'll see. We'll see whether he gets by Pitbull or not. He may not. But we're thinking he's the one we're going to face. But we don't know yet. We don't know. Anything's possible. We thought we weren't going to face Brett Primus, and look what ended up happening. We ended up facing him. So anything could happen in these tournaments. So who we think is the winner, more likely, you know, is not necessarily always the case. So let's wait and see. But if it is Alex, we're ready for him. If it's Pitbull, we're ready for the rematch too.